Ian Hislop calls out the absurdity of the Tory elites.
Satirically, it's very useful because it's always terribly funny. I mean, the presentation of outsiders, I mean, if you want to take Trump, you know, he's a sort of New York playboy from an unbelievably rich family.
Or Liz Truss this week. I mean, she's described herself as the only Conservative in the room at any given moment, at any given time, always fighting for true Conservative values.
Yes.
Within the deep state, even though, of course, she herself has been an MP for 14 years.
Yes, and, you know, Boris Johnson saying, you know, I'm the sort of person you'd like to go down the pub with. What, an old Etonian who was at Oxford, was from, you know, a very elite family, who made his brother a lord.
But they get away with it.
Yes, and it seems to me extraordinary that this... I mean, Nigel Farage, you know, lovely prep school boy, went into the city. Outsider? Working class hero? Oh, come on. I mean, these are bogus representations of the self.
But in a way, then, I think, in a sort of, let's say, we in a broadly, you know, talk about it broadly, the journalistic world, we've failed, haven't we? Because in allowing them, that narrative has become very deeply embedded, and many people find it very, very hard to challenge. And these people have used it tremendously. But as you say, in one sense, it's absurd. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's genuinely ridiculous. I mean, you know, I myself interviewed Jacob Rees-Mogg recently. I've interviewed him a few times. Quite a few times he's, you know, suggested that I am a part of the kind of media political elite. Now, my father was a welder. His father was, as we know, the former editor of The Times, and clearly a very august member of the British establishment. But I don't know whether these people think it, or genuinely believe it or not. I think actually some of them do. But the fact that they're able to say things like that with a straight face, and actually it's become so deeply embedded.
Jacob Rees-Mogg literally says Vox Populi, Vox Dei, attempting to convince you of his credentials
This is what I mean,
as a
Ian.
popular
It's so
voice in
absurd.
Latin.
So what we've just watched there is a clip of Ian Hislop on the podcast with Lewis Goodall discussing how the British elite and the British parliamentarians and the upper class Conservatives tend to persuade the British lower and middle class that they are one of them. How figures such as Michael Gove, Boris Johnson, Jacob Rees-Mogg convince the general electorate that they are one of them, when in actual fact they are far from it. And in fact just use these people to further their own agendas. And then when their own agendas blow up in their faces, they are, it can still get better. Brexit can still get better. So the conversation between Ian Hislop and Lewis Goodall highlighted a very, very prominent point. Why does the media not hold account? Why is it only independent channels like myself? Why does the media not hold to account these figures that call themselves one of the people? People like Jacob Rees-Mogg, Boris Johnson, Michael Gove, Nigel Farage, all of these political charlatans that have done nothing to help the little guy out and only helping themselves out by perpetuating populist ideas such as Brexit. We know that Boris Johnson had 2 speeches that day, one to remain and one to leave the EU. We know that he chose to leave the EU. We know that's why David Cameron and Boris Johnson fell out, because David Cameron thought he could rely on Boris Johnson to be on his side of remain. Nope, because Boris saw an opportunity and he took it with both hands. They amusingly noted how these politicians craft personas that belly their own backgrounds. Farage, the prep school educated city worker who used to work as a banker. Johnson, the Oxford educated old Etonian who positions himself as an old pub buddy, even appearing on EastEnders. This manipulation isn't just a harmless act, it is vindictive, it is manipulative. It's a deceptive tactic that embodies itself in public discourse. The media love this shit. They love it when Boris Johnson appears in EastEnders. And they're the ones who perpetuate it. They're like, oh, don't forget Boris Johnson is on EastEnders this week. He's a friend. The issue here isn't just media bias. It's about a cultural peculiarity where British society gives undue reference to titles and schooling, which might not be as pronounced as it is in other countries. The US, for example, does not give a fuck whether you're a sir, a lord, a dame, a dowager, a duke, a duchess, a queen. They don't give a fuck because they hate the British. They're the ones who got away from us in the first place. But anyway, I digress. Now, what this phenomenon allows it allows certain individuals to navigate effortlessly between addressing the concerns of the poorest people in the land and ensuring that the wealthiest pockets are full, telling their wealthy buddies that it's okay, I got you, you'll be fine when I get into power, I'll make you a lord or a sir, shh, I'll put you on the honours list, even though I was only Prime Minister for 45 days. And as it was discussed in the podcast with Ian Hislop and Lewis Goodall, the duality of their personas is never addressed, it's never challenged, and they just let them get along with their lives. Boris and Nigel effectively screwed the entire country through Brexit, and now Boris is earning millions. He even got a job as a GB News presenter, which I've never seen in the light of day. And they are allowed to shelter under the umbrella of Brexit will work one day. No, mate, it should have worked now. There should have been some benefits by now, but there isn't. You'll struggle to find benefits. It's intriguing yet profoundly damaging, as it allows incompetence and deceit under the guise of class solidarity. Boris Johnson being the prime example. But anyway, let me know what you think. Did you like the clip? Do you like Ian Hislop? I love Ian Hislop. But anyway, if you like the video, thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe and hit the like button. It helps this channel a lot, and the channel has been growing immensely thanks to you guys. I've been Jake from Just Jake, and remember, make love, not war, because what's the point? You'd never see Boris Johnson on the front lines. Maybe he's a fucking sandbag, a bushy-haired sandbag. Did you like the video? Then hit the subscribe button, or watch some more videos. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm and helps the channel grow. Thank you very much.